Hi everyone, so I've got this SPB 1006. It's a single sheet from Stamperia's new lavender range by Vicky Papineau, and I need to make a birthday card, so I thought I would record the process in case I want to share it with you guys at a later stage. So the first thing I'm going to do is, this is a double-sided sheet, and I always am terribly conflicted when I have to choose which side of the paper I want to use, and I'm really loving that one over there, but it's got the window, and I don't know if I want to part with the window. So if you like both sides, you're probably going to need to get two of these sheets. They retail for 35 Rand each here in South Africa. My initial thought was I wanted to use the tree because it is a birthday card, and trees and stuff signify life to me, an ongoing life. It signifies growing old, etc. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut those out. Grab my trimmer. I'm taking off the side strip, and I'm going to cut that in half. Putting this one to one side because I want to focus on the tree and the scooter. Okay, so let me measure this quickly and see how big it is, because I'm probably going to end up doing a 6x6 card, so it is slightly too big for my 6x6 card. So I'm going to trim off a little bit on all four sides just to make sure that I'm just eyeballing to make sure that the borders are even. Okay, I need a little bit more. Let's see. So we've got, I need a smidge more. So I'd rather take off less at a time and do it more times than once, because we don't want to cut away too much and then you have ruined a perfectly good piece of card. So I'm measuring again. Like they say, measure twice, cut once. We are almost there. Just another smidge off the side, then we got a perfect. That's 5 7/8, and that's 5 7/8. Good job. Right. What I want to do with the motorbike is I want to cut it out. So let me just get rid of my trimmer. Or the scooter. It's more of a scooter than a bike, isn't it? I'm going to try my silicone cutting pen from Stamperia. Right, let's get a cutting pad. Now this thing does have a learning curve. There is, and I'm probably going to need to sit for this one, so let me sit rather. So there is a learning curve in terms of using this thing. It's got a precision point, and it's a ceramic point. Now I haven't used mine much, but the moment you get it right, it's actually quite incredible. So there is a cutting point on this knife, and apparently you never need to sharpen it. So that is a plus for me. Okay, it's cut through. And I find that I have a little bit more control over the cutting process than I do with a conventional craft knife. Maybe it's because it's shaped like a pen. I don't know. And the reason why I want to cut this out carefully is because I might be able to use the background for something else later on. And guys, if you have struggled with fussy cutting, I think this really is going to make your life simpler. Stamperia papers are 190 grams, and you can see it's cut through fairly easily. I am applying a little bit of pressure to the tip. And I'm turning my paper instead of the pen, because I think that is going to make it a little bit easier for me to navigate. I'm going to leave that piece for last because it's looks a bit delicate. Oops. I haven't done a live or recorded a video in ages. I don't know, life has just been so super busy. Let's see if it's cut through. Yep. And I don't know, the day just flies by every day. And I miss it, I must be honest. I miss my lives. I'm not sure if I cut there already, so let's leave it and check later. This is probably a little bit boring for you to watch, isn't it? So I'll probably speed up this part of the video. And in order to do that, I actually need to keep quiet so that you don't miss out on anything. So maybe no talking from here on out. The only problem is I'm so much of a chatterbox, it's just ridiculous. Oops, cut into the seat there. And if I think back to my childhood, I was one of those people who couldn't put two words together. I can't believe that I talk so much nowadays. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Cool. It's cut nicely. And terrible, this old age people of losing your eyesight, it is horrible. I mean, we had specs done last year, and I think it was last year. I probably have another year to go before I can have new specs, and I'm already feeling like my old, or well, my fairly new ones are, I mean, it's not doing its job anymore. It is not doing its job. Oops, it's already cut through. So kudos to Stamperia for bringing out a ceramic cutter. I really love it. And like I said, I haven't used mine much. Oh, they are cut away from the... Oh gosh. I'm blaming it on user error. It is not the trimmer at all. It is me. feel like sometimes I feel like if I open my eyes wider, I'm going to be able to see better. But it doesn't work that way, unfortunately. Let's see. Okay. I'm going to go down here. So the secret is just to find the correct part of the tip that does the cutting. Because if you don't have that tip, then you tear your paper. So I always practice on a separate little sheet before I go onto my actual paper or my washi pad for that instance, because you don't want to damage your project. So best to do a practice run on a spare sheet so you know you've got the right angle that you need, and then take it from there. I might just cut this piece off because it's very fine. Yeah, not gonna bother with that. That's my idea. So let's see. Okay, so my initial thoughts were I was going to use this, and I went through the entire process, but I have changed my mind. And the reason for that is that when I put the scooter in front of the tree, it just looked too big. The proportion was off. So I changed my mind, and I think it looks a whole lot better on here. So we're going to distress this one. And I'm going to distress inside this corner here. You can see how nicely this pen cuts. And of course this one. Missing the cutting point again over here, so let's find it. There we go. Okay, we got that cut. I need another spot because we do things in threes. I'm gonna do it around here maybe. And you do not have to do this. This is just something that I love doing. Let's find the cutting point again. Here we go. Now I mean, you've got the ephemera, you've got the die cuts available. Let me just show you what the ephemera looks like. It's just beautiful. The colors are amazing. And if I had all these, I could have really gone to town with it. but I'm trying to be economical in terms of what I'm using, so that someone who purchases the just a single sheet, you should be able to get 4 cards out of that sheet, 4 6x6 cards. So I'm just taking my scissor and I'm just tracing the insides. It's getting hot now, the sun is out. It's been quite cold recently. Well, inside the house it's cold. Outside the sun is gorgeous. That's the beauty of Cape Town weather in winter. Even though it's winter, we still have the blessing of some sunny days in between. And here most people actually just dry their washing on the line. We don't use tumble dryers if we can help it. So it's a blessing for all those housewives who anxiously wait for the sun to come out. Okay, I like to use my fingers and fold the paper back slightly. Like so. And then I'm also going to distress the outside. Now it'll be a lot quicker and easier just to glue this onto your card front, but I like to add additional interest to my cards, and I kind of feel that the extras that you do just makes your card a little bit more personal. So even if we all use the same piece of cardboard or the same paper image, each card will come out differently because we all view it with different eyes. Right, and then I'm going to see how this looks. I've got the stress oxide on here. This is the raspberry. It's one of my favorite colors from the Stamperia ink range. These inks blend absolutely beautifully. I think I have a video online somewhere where you can see how they blend. I did it when the inks were just launched. I'm not sure if it's on my Facebook page or on my YouTube channel. It was probably a Facebook Live. And then inside I'm going to use brown. A little brown dauber now, because I think the brown lends itself more to the inside of the paper. And what I do when I do this is I roll the paper back and I put my finger inside so that we try not to get ink. It's near now impossible, but I always try my best not to get the ink onto the outside of the card to avoid that messy look. So I suppose if anybody has a better way, you can always leave us a message and we can try it out. Okay, see the difference that the inking makes. Gives you that rustic look. we're going to add some brown to the edge here as well. Here we go. So we got the start there. Let me find my card front. So there's my card front, and that is going to go on there. So what I like to do is underneath here, if you've got offcuts of paper, if it's from the same range, perfect, that's going to match beautifully. I'm considering cutting up this, but I don't think I want to actually, because the skin flint in me is saying, oh, but you can use that for something else, so I'm not going to go there. Even here, like all those things you can possibly cut out. But in this instance, this is where you can use your stamps to add extra texture. You can use your die cuts to add extra embellishments. So it does not necessarily have to come from the same range. Having said that though, it makes it a lot easier if you do have die cuts and stuff from the same range. I don't right now because I am wanting to use what I have. So I think, oops, that's my doorbell going, if you can hear that. I think what I'm going to do is, it's possibly a client. I'm going to have to stop and come back. So I was talking to myself the whole time. I didn't press the record button. Oh, it can be so silly sometimes. Right. So these are little mulberry flowers I found in my stash that I might use. I've got a mulberry filler here that I might use. I've got my card front, and I've got my little scooter, which is going to sit somewhere here. Right. Now my decision needs to come now and see what am I going to do in the background. So I can either that doesn't look too bad. These little flowers, you can actually direct them because the, oh, I like that actually. I am liking that. I might just pull these two out. Can you see how you can shape these? They're so cool. And they make amazing fillers on your projects. Right, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to snip it a bit shorter. And my trusty old Tim Holtz scissors is the perfect thing for that. So when you cut things like this, what I try to do is I cut it with the back end of the scissor more than the front, because it just makes it, it keeps the tip sharp. Okay, I'm going to go with that. And just to make it easy, I'm going to just stick it down with some red tape at the back so it's not going to move around. And another quick tip, when you're cutting red tape, especially this broadish one, open the mouth of your scissor quite wide and cut. That way, most of the time, your scissor isn't going to stick to the tape. Okay, we got that. So we got the one side fold, and then I think I need something there. Now I've got the strip that I had cut off from the initial page. So I'm actually thinking of just sticking it in the background, just so that there's something there and it's not naked. It doesn't have to be a perfect image, but if you look at that, you can see now that you can see there's something behind it. Oh, maybe the number 25 works. Okay, that's cool. So I'm just going to add some glue. And I'm using the Stamperia craft glue here. I love this glue. And we've got the number 25. So I'm just going to angle it so that it sits nicely in there. And who knows, at the end of this you might not even see that, but it's there and I know it's there, so that's good enough for me. And I like that little bit of script there. So you see, otherwise these little bits would go to waste, and instead of it going to waste, it's now being utilized somewhere on your project. So there we go. I'm just going to glue that down. Stay. Okay, we have got something going on now. And if you're not happy with the outside border, if you want to add anything extra to the outside border, you can do that. I think I'm okay with the way it is here, and so I'm going to take my glue and with this glue you really don't need a lot. Once it's placed and secured, it sticks really nicely. So we're going to make sure that everything is centered, nice even margins right around. And my favorite part is adding 3D tape to stuff. So this is what we are going to do. And you don't need to put like a really thick one. My favorite one to use is now I need to find it. What did I do with it? Is a 1.5 mil thick. Right, here it is. So it's 1.5 mil. And looking at this whole thing, if you wanted to add even more dimension, you could cut out that part and create a 3-dimensional effect with that. Even the bumper you could do, but to me it already looks dimensional, so I'm going to leave it as is. Same process with foam tape. Cut with the back of your scissors so that you don't I'm going to leave the edge of the wheels. Okay, so my carpenter's eye was out slightly by a millimeter. Let me just trim that away. I'm going to leave the edge of the wheels in case I wanted to go below that, just in case. Not sure yet. We're going to see when I place it down. So this is just my way of doing things. I am by no means a professional in this field. I sometimes, even in hindsight, if I look back at my life, I actually wish I had done art instead of business. But yeah, we cannot turn that clock back. Instead, I am just enjoying making things because I love beautiful paper. So for me, that's what I do. I look at a piece of card and I see what can I do with it? How can I do something with it? And I've reached a point, and I think it comes with maturity, where if it doesn't work, I am not that hard on myself anymore. I still am, but I try not to be. Let's put it that way, because I think all of us are sometimes our own worst critic. That is, I like that. My head is spinning because I'm trying to think if I've got any vines anywhere, because I would have loved to have created additional texture with vines, but the ones I have are a tiny bit too big for this. And if something's too big, then I won't use it, because it just will spoil the whole proportion of the card. So that's one thing that you have to focus on, is proportion. Bear in mind, I just said I'm not a professional, but I always tell people, use your eyes. If something doesn't look right to you, then it's your eyes telling you need to make a change somewhere, move stuff around. So don't always try and just stick things down. First play around with it before you decide to stick. So I'm going to use the edge of this paving as my guide. Oh, I don't want it to be right on top there. I think I'm going to do it like this. Okay, so we got that stuck on. Now let's see how these flowers will look on here, because I would have loved some tiny roses, honestly. I wonder. Maybe we could angle this down here. I think I'm going to snip that right off there. I don't know if I'm going to do it, but we'll see. Maybe I'll do a mixture. Oh, I wish this flower was like just... Oh, I forgot. I've got this nail accessories that I took out. Let's see. See how quickly I get sidetracked here, Shamila. Come on. I don't even know if this is still going to stick. I probably got it as a gift from someone ages ago. Oh gosh. How are we going to lift this? Oh. It's got the perfect little pink U in it. H-U-E. So I don't know how much of a difference it's making. I wonder, let's see what happens if I mount it onto a piece of card. See if I can cut it out. And ooh, that's really tiny. then possibly we can shape it. And we go back to the poor eyes that are so bad. Oh, sorry, I didn't realize I'm off camera there. The beauty of Mr. Holt's snips is that it cuts right to the edge of that scissors. Tippy tip tip. I'm just being difficult now because I want dimension, but let's see how it looks if I what did I do with my ball tool? Oh, here it is. So we need the fine point of the ball tool. This one is not fine enough. I might have a smaller one here if you just check. This is actually a broken thing that I never threw out. So you can, if you want to, you can use something like glossy accents for this as well. I'm going to try and do this without adding anything to it and see what happens. Okay, I have to give up on my dimension, or it's going to take too long. Nail art, people, nail art. How cool. Now I feel like I need to go to Chinatown and stock up on this stuff again. The crazy things we do. I love that. I think it looks so cool. And there's a pretty little shimmer on this. So, yay for shimmer. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12. I need an odd number, so we need one more. A small one. Oh, that's gonna have to be good enough. I actually wanted to place it there. Okay, so we got that, and then I do need some extra finishing touches, and that is extra gloss finish. I don't think Stamperia makes it anymore. They've got a fluid gloss now, which, well, it's basically the same thing. And for me, let's just grab, I'm looking for my glitter. So this is Twinkling Spark. It's a super fine glitter, and I love adding glitter to things. So for me, let's do the glitter first. I'm going to glitter up my butterfly. And so when I do this with the glossy accents, or with what's this called, extra gloss finish, I try to follow the flow of the item that I'm working on, and that's just simply so that you don't lose the shape and dimension of your project. Okay, and then a piece of paper. I'm gonna pull the glitter on top of there. Shake it off. Pour the balance back in. Close that glitter, because once it falls out, there's no going back. Okay, and I actually think I'm going to now keep this nozzle clean. If you're adding dimension or anything, my desk is a disaster. If you're adding dimension, or you're trying to add dimension, then keep your desk clean, your point of your bottle clean, because that way you will get a nice edge. So I keep it clean. I wipe it often. So I'm going to add some, wow, it's running out fast. I'm just going to add some drops here. It's coming out too fast, so what I'm going to do is, I normally use a toothpick, and I don't think I have one handy right now. Let's see. Nope. So I'm just going to improvise. I've got a pin. That will also work. So I'm just taking that glossy accents, or I'm going to move some of this away because it's too much. If you leave it there, what happens is you're just creating a big fat blob, and you will lose the shape of these beautiful lilacs. So I hope I'm in shot here. Let me check. I think I am. Okay, let's pull the glitter and see how we did there. Oh, that's so cute. That's my doorbell. Okay, so I'm back and it's been a lot of disruptions. But what I have done in the interim period, which I'm not sure I recorded, was I added glossy accents or extra gloss finish with a pin, just so that I can pinpoint tiny little areas. And I added some glitter, which is the Twinkling Spark glitter. It's a super fine glitter from Papericious, and you can get this from us here in Cape Town. I also added some of these little lilac flowers just to add additional interest, and I'm thinking of doing some leaves, but I just wanted to show you how I did those little flowers, because this is what the flower looks like. It's just a small flower, but I did add a little bud to it. So you can find this from us. It's pollens, but it's called wire pollens. And so it just adds, I did make a hole in the center. I've got a little tool that does that. And so if you put the little tiny pollen on the inside, it just makes a big difference to the overall look of that flower. And you can actually hot glue it if you wanted to, and then just push the little petals together, which will make the flower tiny bit smaller, like that. But I'm not even going to do that right now. I chop it off right close to the edge, and then I do my best to fold back this wire. So I fold it back so that it doesn't pop out after you've glued it down. And you can use any glue to do this, any glue that will dry clear, and if you're confident enough that it will hold your item in place. So I'm putting one here. And then I'm going to put another one, because you know I do everything in threes. So I'm going to put another one at the bottom here, and I do realize I'm covering that, but it is what it is. Maybe I'll just pop it a little bit lower. So let's just show you quickly. This was intended to be a very quick video, and I don't think I can do a quick video. There's something wrong with me. I talk too much. So let's do that. I'm going to use the one with torn petals. So you can poke this hole with any instrument that you have. Even a pin should work. And then I take my ball tool and I just push it down like that, just to create some shape with the petals. And we are going to chop that off. Push that through there. Trim that down. And push back the wire. And you know, the flower is not perfect, but the reality is, in nature nothing is perfect, so we are not aiming for perfection. And let's get our card back. Okay, we've pushed our there we go. That flower is going to go there. just in case you didn't know, glossy accents or the extra gloss finish fluid gloss, it's really a brilliant glue as well. So if you've never used it as a glue, you should give it a try. It works really well. Okay, so we've got those little bloomies there, those little blooms. I shouldn't speak Afrikaans in case there's people that don't speak Afrikaans. And just thinking, I need another one. So because I've got one dark one at the bottom and I've got like a maroony color, I need to introduce it elsewhere as well, otherwise it looks isolated. So these flowers are super delicate. It's made from some kind of handmade paper. So if you are not too careful with it, the petals just break. But I'm okay with that. Nothing in nature is absolutely perfect. So there. And then I'm possibly going to put something over there. Thinking. I do need this color over there somewhere, so let's go with that one. And I'm gonna make a hole in this one as well, just in case I need it. These little fillers come in, I've got them in white in the small size, and then I also have it in a slightly bigger one. That's a yellow one, but I'm not sure if I have yellow left anymore. I've got the pliers somewhere. I should actually take it out. It will make my life simpler. See where it is. Ta-da! Let's see if that will work better. Yep, success. Go. And possibly a light one. So then how many do I have? 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, that works for me. It's an odd number. We're going to pierce it. This one has got a piercing tool. Mine is a bit crooked at the moment. I think I must have pierced something hard. So it starts out thin and you can gradually make that hole bigger, which is helpful. Okay, let's go. I'm going to pop that hole in this one as well. I'm feeling like these are a little bit isolated at the moment, but hopefully if I do leaves and stuff, it will resolve that issue. Okay, so that one can go over there. So I'm feeling if I put it over there, I'm not entirely covering all my little other flowers that I have already added. Okay, let's get some glue down for that. Hope it's going to be worth it to edit this whole video and finish it. I think that's glued down already. Okay, we've got that. And then what I want to do is on the light, I want to add some accents. So this will be like a domed finish. It will give it some dimension. And possibly on the mirrors. And this will maintain its shape. It's just like glossy accents. It will maintain its shape. I am going to get some leaves. And I do have a die. So this is a really old die. And I'm looking at which leaf is the smallest. So I'm going to go with this one because the leaves out here, I'm going to cut it, but I will use these leaves individually. Okay, I think I'm quite happy with that for now. I wish I had some real baby's breath to add to this, but then I think I'm really going over the top here. So I just need to add some little accents there, and then I think we're going to call it a day. So I've got two pairs. Got very little of my brown left, so I think it's gonna have to be the brown one. Burnt umber. This is called Glamour Sparkles. It's like Stamperia's version of glitter, but it has, oh, I did not stick these down yet. It has it's made from real glass, so it is environmentally friendly. Seeing that we're running extremely low on burnt umber glam sparkles, I feel like I probably just need to use it up now. And in the interest of my doing everything in 3, so let's just put some on the flower pot. It just gives you an idea of what it does. I've got a bit of white in there. Go. And it could possibly look like dirt, so come on. I cannot remember where these fell out, so we're just going to put them there's a couple more that fell out. Ta-ta! That is it. I think we are done. I don't know how many people will actually put so much effort into making a card, but this is just how my brain works. So we have one card, and I'm going to have to edit this video because there are so many interruptions here, but yeah, I'll post some pictures of the finished product. Thank you so much. Have a lovely day. Bye.